All right, everybody. Drake here.
And Bone.
So, we've been doing a lot of warning stuff lately, and we keep comparing them. I keep comparing them to Rush. And this might not be the right song to do for this, but we're going to do a bunch of Rush stuff because, not tonight, but we're going to, moving forward, I'm going to play a bunch of different Rush stuff for him because he's not a big fan of Rush, who gets put in that prog rock kind of
I don't even know what the hell that
category.
means.
Progressive.
I know what it means, but
At the time, it was before there was actually progressive rock, and they called it prog rock.
You know, they say that Pink Floyd is prog rock. That's like,
they say that Pink Floyd and Rush were like the two bands that started it. Them and Dream Theater and a couple other bands.
Does that mean like more than 6 chords in your song? Is that what progressive rock means?
If it's more than 6 chords, then yes, that would be definitely it. Because
like 3 for the chorus and 3
I don't
want to
go. I don't want to go crazy. I picked "Spirit of the Radio" live from 1984, a 2021 remaster. We watched just a clip of it to see how the sound was going to be. It sounds like it's going to be okay.
All right, let's check
So
it
the
out.
thing with these guys was, so Neil Peart, the drummer, wrote everything, wrote all the lyrics.
Right.
Once he entered the band after the first album, then Alex and Geddy and the three of them would put all of the arrangements and they would do the music. Well, around the time of this album, Spirit of the Radio, and the next album after that is Moving Pictures, then Subdivisions, and so on and so on. When they got to this point, Geddy wanted to add keyboards. And
Yeah.
then he wanted to add sampling. So they're like, let's just bring another guy in. And Geddy's like, no, we're a 3-piece. I'll just do it. So he would have a keyboard in front of him. He'd have pedals on the ground for all these pre-programmed samples and a computer, play the bass and the mic, and he would just stay there. He'd move out from behind that and he'd come back. But in their early days, they didn't have all that stuff, so he'd be all over the stage and then he'd run back to the mic. The last, 4 or 5 times I saw them, he had such an array of stuff around him because he was doing, and you'd see interviews with him where Alex is like, all I have to do is play guitar. I don't even have to sing. Geddy's like a one-man band over here. It's crazy. But anyway, let's get into this. If you like Rush, and it's not a love or hate thing, but there are a lot of people that like Rush that just are casual fans. You have people that love Rush. I
was a casual fan of Rush.
Probably at best.
Yeah.
And this is one of those songs. This was the song that they would close all their shows with up until a certain point, and then it switched to another song after. But in their first, once this song came out, this was
the closer,
the encore. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Way faster than normal?
No, this is normal. But I'll tell you right now, the crazy part I was thinking about when I was watching, I was playing Tom Sawyer, the original music video for someone at work one day, and we were watching on there. They're like going, does he deliberately make every drums in every song as technical? I'm like, yes. Every song. If you can't play drums, you're not covering Rush. And there's a couple really awesome cover bands for Rush, but one of them is 5 people.
5. 2 drummers?
No, 1 drummer, 2 guitarists, a bass player, a keyboardist.
Oh, wow.
To just do what these 3 do.
Yeah.
I was like going...
Not everybody could be a super evil genius.
It's sick. Sick. Yeah, they're all 3 virtuosos, easily. So 80s.
But look.
So it was either the encore or the opening song. It might have switched around, but the subject matter is awesome.
Right. Tell you what, it's amazing the bass that he's playing and singing at the same time, because it's like he's still in tune with the drummer.
Yeah.
It's like a boom, 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 and he's like singing. That is a gift that I don't have as a musician, and that's impressive.
There are two bass players that I can think of that are like singing and playing that are just unbelievable. And
I wonder who the other one is.
Tom Araya
Tom Araya?
of Slayer.
I was thinking Les Claypool.
Well, okay.
Tom Araya, he's talented, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Different style, 100%.
Yeah, but Les Claypool. What
The
he's doing
lyrics
is
to
singing.
this song are really cool, though. Like, I really like the lyrics to this. Like, where he's talking there is like, this shatters the illusion of integrity. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
But we'll back that up just a smidge. But yeah, these guys, if you watch any of their live stuff, we'll make this a twofer, and I'm going to play, we'll do Time Stands Still next, which is far enough past this where he's got all the stuff, and we'll do a live. It won't
And
be
then
this
at the end, we should go back to that first song.
that you really like.
Yes.
So we'll make it a threefer.
Yes.
Let's do it. All right, here we go. Everybody's playing air drums.
Did you see the guy, the blonde-haired guy? He's like,
In the audience?
Yeah.
That drum roll is just like classic.
Words of the prophets were written on the studio wall. A concert and echoes with the sound of salesmen. Of salesmen. Of salesmen.
Damn, dude. I guess progressive means that they make interesting music.
Yeah, they do.
Did you? I mean, the triplets he was doing on the bass, dude. Wow. That's the first time I've ever seen any of them do anything live.
Really?
Yeah.
So, what'd you think of that?
God damn, dude.
So, there are bands that are just a whole different level live. Like, there was a friend of mine, when I was way young, he was always, his big deal was he always wanted to see, every time Heart came, he would go see him live. And I was like, it's Heart. I don't really care. He's like, no, you don't understand. These guys are so amazing live. You would have to see them live. And I'm like, really? Heart? Are you serious?
So you saw him live?
I never saw Heart live.
Yeah, I don't know that I ever even had a chance to see Rush. I don't ever remember anyone. I don't remember any of my friends going or someone mentioning it. My best friend, when I was in high school, was a Rush fan. But
Fixed and remastered Mystic Rhythms live.
Shout out, Mark, if you're out there.
So I have no idea what we're going to get. This is from 2011. I'd like to be a little further back than that, but the quality is not going to be great, and I'd rather have better quality. And Time Machine 2011 DVD. This is 2011. Let's just do Live in Cleveland.
What about the 94 one?
You want to do that one?
I don't know. I mean,
Found new high quality audio source after all these years to use for a view from the Palace. So the Palace is I say let's just do the one that's this one right here from 2011.
I believe Geddy's parents were Holocaust survivors.
Yeah, we're gonna do this one. I'm gonna mute this. Bear with us, guys. I only had the first one ready. There are so many tracks by this band that I could queue up for him. It's just would be ridiculous. So it's like my personal favorites are like I have a lot. There's one newer album that is kind of interesting. It was on an album called Counterparts. Wait. Go back up there.
We have technical difficulties or what?
Yeah, but it'll be all right. There we go. So, this the album called Counterparts. That album's great, but it's like 2008, 2009, around this time, and they had a couple really cool songs on it. But one is Alien Shore. Is that the song? No, it's a different song. I'll have to look it up. We'll do it one day.
All right.
So this is Time Stands Still. This is off the album called Hold Your Fire. I saw them in concert for this album. I love this album. Force 10, Time Stands Still, and there's another song. There's 3 songs off this that were really popular, and they're all over the place with this. But their style is way more synthesized at this point. But they're still just freaking rocking. And this is a 2011 version from Live in Cleveland. And you should get the feel of Geddy with the keyboards and all that. So,
yeah. It's
here we
interesting
go.
to see what he does with the bass lines. If he's doing samples or if he's...
Yeah. You ready?
Let it roll.
And this song is pretty rocking.
Took my back to the wind to catch my breath before I start off again. Driven on without a moment to spend, but that's an evening with a drink and a friend. I let my skin get too thin. I like to pause no matter what I present. Like some pilgrim meant to transcend. To live, I just be careful to
Oh wow, Alex is playing keyboards. That's crazy. That's Getty's setup over there.
I'm not looking back, but I wanna look around me now. See all of the people and the places that surround me now. Time stands still. Rain is falling back a little bit longer. Making sensation a little bit stronger. Experience slips away. Experience slips away. Time stands still. Turn my face to the sun. Close my eyes, let my defenses down. All those rooms that I can't get around. I let my past go too fast. No time to pause. If I can slow it all down, not so carefree, ship underground. I could wait until the tide comes around. I'm not looking back, but I wanna look around me now. See more of the people.
So what do you think so far?
It's interesting. I'm just trying to take it all in because I noticed that Neil has these etchings on his cymbals
Yeah.
that look like gears or
Yeah.
parts of the clock. And he's got that on his shirt.
Yeah.
And they look like they're surrounded by clocks.
Well, this tour was called the Time Machine Tour.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. And I'm actually like, because I know that Neil was famously introverted.
Yeah.
And that when they did the meet and greets, he wouldn't.
Yeah. Alex and Getty did all the talking.
Yeah.
Neil would add in some stuff, but he
So I'm trying to understand, like, I'm trying to get inside of Neil's head, like, after 2 songs. Like, I know what this, you know what I mean? I know you, man.
I'm totally there. I'm right on point with you, buddy.
But I like the retro feel of what looks like old jukeboxes or radios.
Yeah.
And I like the microphone that's in front of, I don't remember the guitar player's name.
Alex.
Alex Lifeson, yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, and you know what's interesting, too, is that I know that when he first started, he played Gibson guitars. And then in the last song, he was playing Fender. And now he's playing a Paul Reed Smith, which is famously, or I don't know if everybody knows it, but it's really a mixture between
Gibson and Les Paul, or Gibson and Fender.
Yeah, and so that's what I like to do with all my guitars. I have most of them have the Fender guitars have Gibson pickups in them, and so to me it's just the sound is, you get so much more of a dynamic range of sound.
And then Getty's over there playing a Fender bass.
Yeah, I like it when he's playing the Fender bass better than that headless wonder from the 80s. But this is a cool stage setup.
Huh?
I'm sorry, it's a cool stage setup.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So if you got more, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, just everything in the background. It just looks like I just love the aesthetic of the whole thing. I could see why someone would want to go see this show, because I could go right now and actually see it, because
They I saw them.
you see this tour.
I probably did in 2011. I don't know. No, probably not. 2011. No, I did not see this show. I was already. Well, no, actually, 2011. I don't know.
No, yes,
I have
maybe.
to think. I've seen them like 4 or 5 times, but I don't know. There we go.
Look around me now. See more of the people and the places that surround me now. Days is older, a little bit older. Making sensation a little bit stronger. Taking temperature a little bit stronger. Freezes motion a little bit longer. The innocence slips away.
Is that Alex singing?
Yeah, they're
The innocence slips
Yeah, he has backup vocals.
That's beautiful. And they're both sort of singing. I'll tell you what, pause it for a second. That look that
They just shared.
Neil, it's like I've only really gotten that a few times playing with musicians, and it's just, you're in such, they call it being in the zone. You're in such a sublime place mentally, and the energy that's coming off. It's just like it's one of the most like actually getting chills just thinking about it. I know that look, and it's like it's a beautiful thing, and I envy people and admire people who can do it on a daily basis.
So I might get a little choked up here. So they did this interesting like get together documentary thing with the three of them, right? Like literally
Right before he died.
months before Neil died.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they would meet at this place and they'd had a meal. They had the place to themselves, and they go through all this stuff. And these guys were completely always on the same page.
Yeah, they were.
100%.
Well, didn't that documentary was called All the World's a Stage, maybe?
Maybe. But it was around this time.
And then we talked about how when Neil's wife had passed away,
Yeah.
he took a motorcycle tour across
Yeah.
Canada, maybe, or across the U.S.
And Neil, there was a point before this time, before 2011, like when they were still doing albums, where there was all this information that came out that Neil was sick,
Yeah,
that he had
cancer, I believe.
cancer, leukemia, Hodgkin's disease, something that was attacking his bones and all this other stuff, and that nobody really every show, every album was going to be their last tour, and the next thing you know, they ended up doing 5 or 6 more albums and tour for another 8-9 years, and so he kept working and working and working, and I know after he passed, they had considered, the two of them, Alex and Geddy, had talked about doing something together and calling it something different, and then they ended up scrapping it. I think Alex has since played a few gigs with other people, and Geddy plays stuff, but I don't think either one of them, I could not see either one of them in another band at this point.
I understand that devotion that they had to each other,
But
I don't know. I just don't know. I guess maybe if it's just not in
they've
you.
done it for so long.
I just feel like I would
don't know.
love to. I don't know. I just feel like that if I was in that position, I would never want to stop, especially if you don't. If your voice is still holding up.
So in this stage performance, this is the beginning of where Geddy starts to strain to sing.
Yeah.
And this is in 2011, and they were still touring in, like, when did Neil die? 2018, 19, 2020, around the pandemic time?
I don't remember.
But they were still touring almost up to that point. And they did a couple shows after he died for like a Hall of Fame induction and some other
Yeah.
stuff where they had other, I can't remember who played drums for him. Maybe it was Dave Grohl or somebody.
No,
like
I think
that.
it was. I think we did a video. I think it was Taylor Hawkins.
No, that was Robert Johnson induction.
Was it?
I think it was. It might not have been. Maybe that was.
Well, man, I
theirs.
think I did the wrong thumbnail for that, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. I didn't
Rush was
read-
inducted that year in 2000.
So that might have been the Rush induction, and they just did a Robert Johnson track together.
Well, I
with
did.
everybody
I
on
did
stage.
the Rush in the background with Robert Johnson in the center, so I didn't screw it up totally. But
There you go. Yeah, it's nobody new. I mean, that's half the fun. Somebody come in and correct us.
yeah,
Here we go. But this was his voice right here. From this point on, he was having trouble. Like he couldn't hit the high notes like he used to, and you could tell by the way the air.
Right.
He wasn't getting enough air to do it. Like it was becoming an issue.
I'd like to see some of these bands where the original members are still there. Like let's say,
Like these guys.
yeah, where let's say he can't sing it. Get somebody in there younger that could do it, but he's still on the stage, so it's not like cheating because
Right.
You know they had to get two drummers to.
Well, that's what Styx did. They brought that other guy when Dennis took a year off because he had the vocal issue, and they didn't know if he was going to be able to go, and they replaced him with another keyboardist with dark curly hair that's still in the band. Then he came back and they did one more tour where somebody wasn't with them when they did that tour, but
But I mean, if he would
the
have been
guy,
able to
the
still play
other
keyboards,
guy,
but he couldn't sing.
the other guy was still there, and when they did when he came back to do this show, this last tour, before they had their final breakup. And
Right.
they did the Brave New World album, and then that was it. They broke up. And Dennis is hands down better than they are at
We
this point.
probably went on a little too long. Let's get it back into it.
Sorry.
I'm not looking back, but I wanna look around me now. See more of the people and the places that surround me now. Time stands still. Something's going on, time's going older. Children growing up, old friends growing older. Raising motion a little bit longer. Making sensation a little bit stronger. Experience slips away. Experience slips away. The innocence slips away.
The thought
Okay.
comes to mind that their music is timeless.
Okay, so we were going to make this a threefer, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to make this part one, and we're going to end this one here. That way, it doesn't take me 4 years to upload this thing. And we'll do a part two, which we're going to sign out. Comment below what other Rush tracks you want him to check out, and we will see you guys soon.
Again, I'll tell you, if you come back, I'll tell you a story about the time I got mugged and someone stole my Rush album.
Wow. That'd be... Do I need to give you a Rush album just to make you...
No, it was a cassette, my Walkman. It's an interesting story. It was kind of my fault, a little bit.
You want to tell it?
It's only a mugging because...
Let's go ahead and
I'll just
tell it
say-
right now.
Okay, so I was walking to my grandmother's house, and I passed by a friend's house, and I had, what was it, Moving Pictures has Tom Sawyer on it?
Yeah. It's
So I had just bought the
Limelight,
cassette
Moving
tape.
Pictures, Witch Hunt,
And so
YYZ.
all I remember is I said to this older kid, "I'll see you in hell."
Red Barchetta.
And he did something to me. I don't know what it was. And I blacked out. And I walked across this busy road. I came to. So I was blacked out, but I was still moving. I was still still able
And when you
to walk.
came to your senses, you no longer
I
had
had crossed this busy road. And I came to. And my Walkman was gone.
That was in it?
Yeah.
Wow. And
So
you
I
had had
never-
it for like a week? You barely had it?
Yeah, I barely had it.
Wow. And that's like the album that you would want to have for a long time.
Right. And so I never got into Rush after that.
That's crazy.
And I liked it because of, have you ever heard of the Texas Tornado? The Von Erichs?
No.
There was Kerry, Kevin, and the other Von Erich brother. Well, he used that song. Kerry Von Erich used Tom Sawyer as his music when he came out. And so
Oh,
I heard
nice.
it, and I was like, what do you think? I was like, who
You're
sings
talking
that
about
song?
wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just big into
Very
wrestling
cool.
back in the day.
So if it's Warning fans that come over and look at this because it's Rush, or any of our viewers watch this, suggest tracks that you think we should do for Bone on Rush. Because aside from like the last album they did, I've heard everything.
All right.
So we're going to get out of here. We're going to do a part two. So look for part one and part two. We might release them real close to each other.
All right.
We're getting out.
Thanks for being on the show tonight.